Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel. It is Saturday, which means it is weighing day. So let's see what my scale is going to do today after a week of the 50/50 plates. Well, I didn't get a video up last week, but I do want to tell you what my weight was and how that turned out. So on August 9th, which was 2 weeks ago, I weighed in at 228.2, which was a loss, and I think I had recorded that one for you. Then last week I weighed in at 229, which was a gain of 0.8. Um, so last Saturday I decided to try what's called the 50/50 plate, which is and I still weigh and measure everything, but half of your plate is a starch, like potatoes, rice, beans, things like that. More calorie dense foods. And by calorie dense, I mean like calories per pound and not necessarily total calories. Because actually potatoes are pretty low in calories. But the other half of the plate is leafy greens, non-starchy vegetables, and I am also allowed 2 servings of fruit every day. So this is what happened on the scale today. Okay, well, I'm pretty happy with that, as you can imagine. I want to explain to you, though, why I'm doing this 50/50 plate. First of all, I told you in a previous video that I have had to go on a whole food plant-based diet. And it's because I have been diagnosed with chronic kidney disease. And I'm at stage 3B, according to my last blood test. So I have to severely limit protein. And a whole foods plant-based diet is giving the amounts that I need. I'm allowed only between 31 and 52 grams of protein a day. Obviously, animal protein is something that's way, way too hard. Plus, it's harder on my kidneys. So what I'm going for right now are things that are easily digestible, things that so my kidneys don't have to work so hard. And I have noticed that even though I still pee a lot, which is, that's good, I'm not, I don't feel like I am peeing excessively anymore. And I'm peeing because I'm still drinking tons of water. Although I'm kind of watching that too, because the more water I drink, the harder my kidneys have to work. So it's kind of like a catch-22 that I've been trying to figure out. I kind of switched up the proteins this week that I was eating. Last week after I had that gain, I was eating a lot of beans, chickpeas, that type of thing, which are not bad. I can eat those. I absolutely can eat those. But I was also eating nuts and seeds. And I was having well over 2 servings of fruit. So I cut out the nuts and seeds. I'm not using any fat whatsoever right now. So this week, the weight loss this week at 3.4 pounds signals to me that I'm going in the right direction. I'm making the right choices, and I'm overall feeling better. I've noticed that I'm not quite as fatigued as I've been, and a lot of that is due to the fact that I still get up during the night to go to the bathroom, but I'm not getting up as often. So I'm getting a better quantity and quality of sleep. Also, I'm sleeping better. So I don't get a blood test again until I go back to Ohio in November, and we'll see how this goes. One of the big keys to slowing down the disease in my kidneys is to lose weight, because obesity is one of the main causes of this, as well as high blood pressure. And as you know, I've been dealing with both. So now, like I said, the 50-50 plate made more sense to me. And after I get down to a certain weight, then I'm going to switch that up a little bit, where I will change it to only a quarter of my plate is the starch, and the rest is the vegetables. Now, the reason I chose potatoes, and mostly potatoes and rice, to do this week was because as far as calorie density, they're really, really good. They're still relatively low in calories. The rice has more than the potatoes. Um, but like I said, they're easy to digest, and they're easily accessible. I don't have to go out and buy specialty foods. So this diet is very, very cost effective for me. A bag of rice is, what, a buck and a half, $2, depending on the size, and potatoes are relatively cheap still. So I'm not having any dairy either. I forgot to mention that earlier. Um, so I've cut out all the dairy. I've cut out um, the nuts and the seeds. I'm doing very, very low sodium, so that's an ingredient I need to look at. Need to look at those today, or now. A matter of fact, the other day I bought some couple things in the store that the first brand I picked up was higher in sodium, so I chose either low sodium or no sodium products in canned goods anyway. I'm eating a lot of fresh and raw vegetables, which I need. After I'm done with this video, I need to go to the store and pick some more up. Uh, it's helping me prep my breakfast and lunch and taking it to work all week. So, um, and the things I eat for breakfast may not be considered um, breakfast foods so much. This week I cut back on the oats. I think I only had oats one day this week, which is okay. Any fruit that I would put in the oats, I don't necessarily do that anymore. I still have the fruit in the oats, but I cook the oats first. And so my goal is to eat as many raw things as I possibly can. Um, and this has been pretty easy for me to wrap my head around. Uh, and I'm seeing success. I mean, since I have started this 50-50 plate, you can see I lost 3.4 pounds this week. And I know that's only one week. But I was losing consistently all week long. Because as you know, I weigh myself every day. Now, will it continue? I sure hope so. And when I go back in November to see my doctor, she may tell me something completely different. But when I was in the emergency room a few weeks ago, uh, the doctor discussed this diet with me, and we both agreed this. I had to do something because my kidneys were failing. So, or on the verge of failing. They're getting worse, week by week. So, um, the only thing I'm drinking, I do allow myself one at least one, but not more than two cups of coffee in the morning. I no longer use half and half. I take non-dairy milk. So I do. The only nut thing I have is I've been using cashew milk, unsweetened cashew milk. Um, I I find I like that a whole lot more than the almond milk in my coffee, and it's 0 calories. It is a little higher density. If I would drink a lot, if I would drink a lot of it, but I'm only having 4 to 6 tablespoons a day of that. So I'm drinking those 2 cups of coffee in the morning, and then I I will have some green tea, maybe mid morning or mid afternoon, all without caffeine. And my coffee is caffeinated, but that's the only caffeine I'm having. And then I'm drinking water the rest of the day. So, like I said, it's a very cost efficient diet for me. And I'm always looking at the cost. How much is all this going to cost me? And so far it's working out well. So in my breakfast foods aren't typically called breakfast foods. This morning I had potatoes and broccoli. I eat broccoli a lot for breakfast these days. But I can have cauliflower and uh, mostly the lighter colored vegetables, but I can have the green vegetables also. Um, I don't eat a lot of peas, although I'm allowed to have them. Uh, I'm also allowed to have corn. Now, let me tell you about the corn. I love corn. On Weight Watchers, it's 0 points. And the thing of it is, my kidneys don't love corn. So there's something in the corn, and I don't know if it's phosphorus. It might be phosphorus, but there's something in the corn that makes my kidneys go into overdrive. So I don't eat a lot of corn. If it's in something that I'm eating, like this afternoon for lunch, I had some mixed vegetables and there was corn in it, but there were enough other vegetables in it too. It made it okay, but I can't eat a lot of corn, even though it breaks my heart because I love corn. Um, but I'm not missing it. Now, one of the big things I want to tell you about though is I have my cravings, my nighttime cravings have all but disappeared. I make sure after I eat my last meal of the day, which by the way, I have been eating no later than 5 o'clock. Um, I will have a piece of fruit, and that will satisfy uh, any craving I've had. I mean, last couple nights I've had a banana with some cinnamon on it, and that satisfied me completely. I am not hungry on this plan. I am not hungry at all. I'm getting enough calories, although I'm eating very low calories, but my hunger wouldn't tell you that it's not enough because I'm not hungry. When I'm at the days I'm at work, I eat breakfast around 9:30 in the morning. And the thing of it is, since I'm eating all these vegetables and things, it's taking me longer to eat my breakfast. So it takes me. I'm at 10:30. I'm just finishing up my breakfast. And I'm eating at my desk, so I'm not taking that time off or anything. But you know, it takes me longer to chew and swallow because I'm just eating more vegetables and things that have substance to them. So my breakfast is finished anywhere between 9:30 and 10:30, and then I don't eat my lunch probably till 1 or 1:30. I'm just not hungry, and then I'll eat my lunch, and then I come home and I start fixing dinner around 4:30, 5 o'clock. And again, I could go later because I'm not hungry. I um, but I don't want to eat later than 5. So I want to be done with dinner no later than 5:30. Let me just say that. Uh, Not only that, that gives me the rest of the night to clean up and get things done and prepare for the next day. And I have to get up at 5:30 in the morning to get to work, so I can get to bed early enough then. And I'm not going to bed on a full stomach. So the I'm allowed to have more than one plate of my 50-50 plates. But if I have a second plate, I need to start with the vegetables, the non-starchy vegetables, before I go to a starch. And I can eat all I want if I'm hungry, but uh, I've never had to go back for a second plate. I fixed enough for one plate. I never felt the need to go fix another one. So I guess it's working in a lot of ways. That not only am I losing weight, I'm feeling better, I'm sleeping better, and my hunger's gone. My cravings are gone. I'm not craving any sweets. I'm not. I don't miss the salt, which surprised me because I loved at night. And I've told you this. I would love to fix a bowl of popcorn, loaded with butter and salt. And even though I love it, it was terribly bad for my kidneys. So I'm not missing the salt even on my food. If I want to season something, I'll use herbs. I've been using Mrs. Dash a lot for to season my food, but and it's the no salt Mrs. Dash. Uh, but I'm using like hot sauce and things like that. Um, Balsamic vinegar. I'm using that on my salads. I'm not doing any more dressings. Sometimes I'll mix the balsamic vinegar with some mustard just to give it a little bit more kick. But uh, I'm not missing all those salty like chips. I'm not missing chips at all. And I find that when I feel like I want something crunchy, I'll eat a carrot or a green pepper or a red pepper, something like that. So I'm learning how to navigate this chronic kidney disease the best way right now I know how. Uh, am I still following Weight Watchers? I am still using the app. And I'm using the app to track my calories because I want to make sure I get at least 1,000 calories a day. And sometimes I struggle to get that and I'm not hungry. I want to make sure that I'm getting enough protein. I'm using the app to do that, and I use it to watch my sodium. So now I'm getting enough protein in the whole food, plant-based foods that I'm eating uh, to satisfy what I need to get. Between 31 and 52 grams, and I'm getting plenty of fat through those whole foods without adding any more fat. So, and I want to tell you, I'm not eating any processed foods anymore. So, the only thing processed that I had, and I think this is why I had a gain the week before, was because I was making tortillas out of masa, which is a processed food. And I was also using quite a bit of nutritional yeast, which in small amounts it's okay, even though that is highly processed. It's still a natural product. I'm not buying any of the pre-made like vegan stuff, like vegan patty. If I want a black bean burger, I'm going to make it myself. Uh, but right now, I'm kind of laying low on the beans because I'm having more success without them. So my main two starches are potatoes and rice, and I can have any vegetable I want. So anyway, that is my update. If you're uh, interested how I found this 50/50 plate thing, it's from a place called Dr. McDougall's uh, weight loss or program for maximum weight loss based on the Whole Foods plant-based diet. So and I've watched several videos, done some research. It sounds, it's a pretty good thing. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not too worried about it right now. When I go back in November and my blood tests or show me that maybe it's not the right thing, then I'll switch. So, but for right now, I'm feeling pretty good, and like I said, I'm sleeping better, and uh, so that's that. As long as I keep having success, with weight loss, because that is, after all, my main goal. Uh, I'm going to keep at this. So, all right. I will see you in the next one. Hopefully next week. I can't always guarantee I'm going to have one up every week because I just don't know how my day's going to go, and we'll see. All right. Uh, I have been posting photos of my food up on my Facebook page. So if you want to check out what I've been eating, they're up on Sue Slims Down with WW, my Facebook page. Go ahead and check that out. I've also been posting them up on Carrie's website, Weight Watchers with Carrie. If you want to go check that out and give her a hug and a like too. All right. I will see you in the next one.